Hey guys, it's Melanie. Happy Wednesday. Welcome back again. So this is the second candle review that I'm uploading today. Before we get into my thoughts of the HomeWorx White Sangria, I wanted to kind of put it out there and ask for some feedback from you guys in terms of how I do these candle reviews. So obviously this is a second upload for today. I would really like to avoid uploading multiple videos in a day. I don't like doing that. It feels spammy to me. But honestly, I have a ton of candles that I have been burning and that I am ready to get reviews out for. And they're a little time sensitive in that some of these scents could potentially sell out. And I want to get my thoughts out there before that happens for a lot of these. So how do you guys feel about me? And I will keep this like with like each brand, if that makes sense. So how do you feel about me doing two candle reviews for two different scents in one video? And what I can do is in the description box, give you guys some timestamps on when the second review is in the video. So if you don't want to watch the first one, you can fast forward. How do you guys feel about that? I think that will allow me to sort of batch these reviews up a little bit more and get my thoughts out faster, I guess, without having to do it with like multiple uploads each day. Or would you prefer that I just do one candle per video, and that way you can decide whether you want to watch that particular one or not? I don't know. I don't want to like spam people's subscription boxes, I feel like. So let me know your thoughts on that. And I did mention I'd like to keep it by brand. So what I would do is like two HomeWorx reviews in one video, two Bath and Body Works candles, or two, like Kringle candles or whatever I'm reviewing. So keep it like within the brand. How do you guys feel about that? I don't know that I would do that like for the long term, but just when there are a ton of new releases, like at the start of spring here, for example, let me know if you're cool with that. Just leave a comment in the comment section down below. So anyway, you guys, let's get into White Sangria. You might be thinking, it looks like you just lit that. I did, because this is my second one already. As soon as I finished the first one, I wanted to light up the backups that I have, and I just want to keep going with Sangria for a long time because boy, do I love this scent. Now, she is not without her flaws. No, she is not, my people. I can look past the flaws because I've kind of learned how to work with this particular candle, but I hope that this is not an omen of things to come with the other spring candles. But we'll talk about performance here in a second, because that's where the problem lies, is with the burn performance. It's not with the fragrance itself. That is just a chef's kiss, dream come true from like forever ago. But here's the one that I already finished, and we'll get to that part here in a second. So please know that I've actually burned an entire one of these. This is not like a just first sniffs review here. This is, I have burned this. I've burned an entire one, and I can give you some solid thoughts at this point. So White Sangria was originally released in the early days of HomeWorx at QVC. Funnily enough, is that a word? Funnily? Oddly enough, I guess. I didn't pick this up when it first came out. I have no idea why I skipped this one, because that was dumb. This is exactly the type of summer fragrance that I love. This is so delicious, you guys. I think what I was afraid of at first was that coconut rum note in here. I don't need to be nervous about that, because guess what? I can't smell it. We'll talk about the scent notes here in a second. But yeah, so this was originally released on QVC. It is currently available on QVC, but good news is that it's also available on the HomeWorx.Shop. I'll put a link to everywhere that you can find this in the description box down below. If you do choose to purchase it off of the HomeWorx.Shop, I do have my affiliate discount code that will save you 10% off the purchase of this or whatever other fragrance floats your boat. Again, it's an affiliate code, so don't use that if you're not comfortable with it. It is MELANIEP, just the letter P, all capital, and you can enter that in your cart and that'll save you 10% off your purchase. You should be able to combine that with most sales that they have on the HomeWorx website with your purchase of $60 or more. A lot of times when they have their sales, it's like buy 3, get 1 free or 25% off. You should be able to stack that discount code with most of those sales. And usually they will do some kind of discounted shipping of like around $5 when they have these sales as well. So the sales seem to be pretty plentiful on the HomeWorx.Shop, which I'm happy to see. I'm glad that Harry is bringing a lot more of these candles over to his own site to be able to sell, because quite frankly, I would rather just give my money directly to him instead of QVC. I have my beef with QVC and, you know, it's my own thing. I don't like how they don't combine shipping. And I think that their pricing is also frequently out of whack. Like they will raise the price on things that they probably shouldn't be raising the price on. But the thing is, like, Harry doesn't really have control on that. Like that's something that is a QVC decision. So they purchase all these candles like in bulk from HomeWorx and then they resell them on QVC. So once they're out of Harry's hands, basically like he is just on there to promote the brand, promote the candles. But QVC is are the ones that are sending the candles out from their distribution centers. So I just think a lot of their pricing it's a little silly to me. None of the holiday stuff is really being clearanced out at this point. And I think their tactic is to just basically wait until next December and then try to sell the stuff at full price then from this last holiday season. That seems to be their MO. I don't understand that because most retailers are more than happy to, you know, clearance things out at the end of the season. I know that right now, for example, Ulta has a lot of the HomeWorx candles that were available from last fall and last holiday season on clearance. So the 4-wick jars, I think, are like $15, and then their 3 wicks that are featured on there are like $9. Now the new scents do have the new pricing, so know that before you go there and have sticker shock, because the new retail price of the 4 wicks is $30. So it's quite a bit. That was a big price jump for HomeWorx from the original $25 price point per candle. Now I've never paid full price for them. How do I want to say that? Because sometimes I definitely have ordered things from QVC that I probably should have waited for a better sale for, but then again, I really wanted it and it was fine, but doesn't matter. You guys, let's get into the review because that would probably be the most helpful to you. Check out the description box down below. Everything I mentioned will be down there. It is always a plethora of information, so make sure that you check that out if you have any questions. You might be able to get your answer there a little bit faster than leaving me a message, because right now, you guys, I am probably a couple days behind on responding to comments. It was Stella's birthday this past weekend, and so I just took time off from like checking my YouTube, so way behind. All right, your fragrance notes for White Sangria, which is such a delicious summer scent: sweet peach, white cherry juice, pineapple, coconut rum, apricot nectar, and raspberry. Oh, it's so delicious, you guys. This is like a summertime cocktail, but you can't smell the boozy note. A lot of times you can smell the boozy note that Harry puts in there. I feel like more so with his holiday scents than his summery candles. I do not smell coconut rum in this. I am thankful for that because I don't actually like the smell of coconut rum and I cannot pick it up for the life of me. I have stuck my nose in this on cold sniff. I have hovered my nose over it when it's been burning. I don't smell that coconut rum. If you can, let me know down below, but I cannot. The main notes that I pick up from this are the sweet peach. That is the predominant note here. The apricot nectar is next. Then for me comes that raspberry. Then I do get a little bit of that white cherry juice and just a touch of pineapple. This is not as tangy as most pineapple scents are. It is a very sweet scent, but it's not cloying. I think that the fruit blend or fruit ratio here that I'm smelling is perfect. I would not change a thing about the fragrance itself. I think that if Harry can keep this for all eternity, he should make this a yearly release during the summertime because it is heavenly. I think it's so, so good. So fragrance, if I had more thumbs, I would give it more thumbs up. It's so good. Now, let's talk about the strength and the throw. The strength and the throw are actually quite good. I get a solid like 7.5 in terms of strength. And I also get a solid like 7 when it comes to throw. It does scent the vast majority of the downstairs of my open concept living area here. I have this on my kitchen counter. I currently have it in the Chester Hurricane from Pottery Barn, but I've also had it in my entryway and I've also had it in my fancy lady living room. All of those places, the strength and the throw are actually pretty on par with what I get when I have it in the Hurricane. So I don't think a Hurricane is necessary for this one, but I like the look of that Chester Hurricane, so in she goes. Let's talk about the thing that is not so great about this one. And this is where I'm going to pop in the very first one that I burned so that you guys can see what I'm referencing here. Okay. Do you see it? I know some of you are like, oh, it's there. I see it. All right. We're going to have to move this guy out of the way. And I'm going to explain to you what's happening here. Do you see this darkness? This right here. I am not really used to this with my HomeWorx candles at all. This is not a typical problem for me. And this one here, I have learned to work with this candle now. So I'm gonna give you guys my tips. If you still wanna try it, you can burn this without having this happen too much, but there's gonna be some rules for it. This burned all the way down. The fragrance did not change at all, by the way. For some reason, this wick burned a little bit longer and burned a little bit more of the wax, but this burned completely down to the wick clips. So here are my tips to avoid this sooting issue that can happen with this one. I do think Harry is using some different wicks again. I wish that he could go back to the wicks that he had previously because I think he had the wicks figured out. But these wicks are tricky, you guys. You can already see with this one, they form pretty substantial mushroom tops. My rule for burning this particular candle is no more than 2.5 hours. Normally my rule is 3 hours, but with this one, it's 2 or 2.5 hours at the most. I have to trim the wicks after each burn. I have to watch it. Sometimes, especially in the Hurricane, it can get a little bit hotter in there and it does potentially start to soot a little bit faster. So I'm typically in the downstairs, in and out of the kitchen because my office, I can see the kitchen from my office. So like I can definitely peek around the corner and I can see if the candle needs to be put out. When it's not in the Hurricane, I think I can get closer to like that 2.5 hours before this starts to happen. But in the Hurricane, it seems like 2 hours is the most that I can go. It just gets a lot warmer in there. And I think it causes these wicks to get even hotter that way. And they start to soot a little bit. And I have a pretty strict rule about if a candle is dirty, I try really hard to either melt it. If I can put it in a crock, I'll put it in a crock. If it doesn't fit in a crock, I'll put it under a lamp. I don't want to put this one under a lamp. I love it so much and I love it burning. And as long as I stick with the 2 hour rule, it's okay. I let this one go. This is what happens when you let it burn beyond 2.5 hours. You do start to get that discoloration, and that's just a big no-no for me. So, yeah, I'm really curious about your guys' experience with this one. If you have a similar experience in terms of having that sooting starting pretty early on. I find that because I'm home, I'm okay babysitting this one a little bit more than I normally am. If this was a Bath & Body Works, I would just put it in a candle crock, but I love burning my HomeWorx candles. I do think with HomeWorx, I like them better burning than I like them melting. So I'm just, oops, sorry. I'm just really careful with it. And I think I have 2 more left after this one. And I absolutely see myself purchasing more. I will purchase it all summer long as it doesn't run out on the HomeWorx website. It is just one of those scents that for me will be a summer staple. It is the epitome of a delicious, fruity, incredible sumber scent. And I just wish that it burned a little bit better than it does. So yeah, a little bit of a letdown there. I don't like sharing bad news, but if there is some bad news to be had, I'm gonna pass it along to you guys. I just wanna warn you so that if you purchase it, you are not surprised by that. I haven't really watched a lot of other people's reviews on the White Sangria yet, other than the original reviews from when it was first released back in the day. So yeah, it's, yeah, not what I love, but I can work with it because I love the fragrance so much. I hope that was helpful for you guys. Once again, check out the description box for all of the references from the earlier part of the video. Let me know if you have any questions. Let me know what your experience is with White Sangria. And thanks so much for taking the time to watch. Please subscribe if you're new and give this video a thumbs up if you found it helpful. And I'll see you in the next one. Take care. Toodaloo.